Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Holly Hamilton, Director of Meteorology at the Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority, coming to you with this week's tropical weather briefing, um, issued today, Friday, September 20th, and valid through next Friday, September 27th. So looking at the surface analysis, we have two low pressure systems out here in the Atlantic, North Atlantic. We have a surface trough here, and that's also associated with an upper level trough that's centered over the southeast US and the Bahamas. And there's a weak high pressure sitting in here. We don't see it on the analysis map, but there's a weak high pressure just to our north here above Turks and Caicos. And then there's a low pressure and tropical wave here in the southeastern Caribbean. So looking at the satellite imagery, um, we're pretty quiet out here in the tropical Atlantic. Here is the disorganized showers and thunderstorms associated with those low pressures I pointed out in the surface analysis chart. Here's a lot of convection associated with that low pressure along along the monsoon trough down here in the southeast Caribbean. And then some disorganized showers and thunderstorms, again associated with that upper level trough and surface level trough that I pointed out as well on the analysis map. So mostly the southeastern Bahamas, central Bahamas, and also the northeast, eastern Bahamas northwestern Bahamas will be impacted by the shower and thunderstorm activity. We might get some of that going into the weekend, um, but most of it right now is concentrated over the Bahamas archipelago. So looking at the tropical weather outlook, here's those two low pressure systems they are monitoring that have a low chance of development in the next 7 days. And then this area here over the Gulf of Mexico um, and in the Caribbean Sea, where there's potential for development later on, early this weekend and into early next week. So looking at the first disturbance, that low pressure that's located out in the central subtropical Atlantic, um, low chance of development within the next week. That's actually remnants of Gordon, that first disturbance. The second disturbance was shower and thunderstorm activity associated with that low pressure. Um, Again, low chance of development, 20% chance. And that's expected to more than likely meander out there in the Atlantic and then take off towards the north. Um, and then finally, the third area of interest is here where a low pressure is expected to develop in the middle part of next week. And it's early in the game, but early projections are suggesting that, the Gulf of Mexico, even portions of the northwestern Caribbean should be monitoring the system as a low pressure system will develop, and there's a medium chance of tropical cyclone development and as it moves into that region. So looking out to the next 5 days, the state of the wind and waves in the area, and specifically how it will impact the Turks and Caicos Islands. So this is the 24-hour forecast. So for tomorrow, 12 UTC, we see that weak high pressure. Now we can see it pointed out here. Those two low pressure systems out there. But for the most part, winds are light and calm in this region. Seas calm 2 to 4 feet, and that will carry on into the weekend. We see that troughing showing up here. That upper level trough will gradually shift eastward. And so going into the weekend, we might expect some isolated shower and thunderstorm activity in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Winds remaining light and seas calm. And this is now going into next week. Monday, we see that trough passing over Turks and Caicos Islands. Rain chances still existing into early next week as that trough moves over. Those low pressure systems you see are still sort of sitting around there in the Atlantic. Seas are still remaining calm. Um, And then that high pressure will slowly weaken and disintegrate. And then a low pressure develops north of this area, right around here, and sort of meanders down towards the south. And so with that, you're going to see the seas increase a little bit. So we're looking at 3 to 5 feet. Winds will still remain light and gentle. And then same with Wednesday. And winds now increasing, sorry, seas now increasing to 4 to 6 feet as that low pressure system moves down southward and sort of generates some swells towards our area. So that's a look going into next week, and then also look at the tropical weather outlook. Um, and so with that, I wish you a pleasant weekend and tune in again with us next week.